everyone. So, if you're a medical professional and you've got your sights set on working or specializing in Saudi Arabia, then you've absolutely come to the right place. We're about to break down the one thing you have to know about first, the prometric exam.
So does this sound like you? Maybe you're dreaming of a career in internal medicine, or surgery, or cardiology within the kingdom. Well, if that's the plan, there's a really important first step, a gateway you've got to walk through.
And yep, you guessed it, that gateway is the prometric professional classification exam. Look, I know these things can seem complicated, but that's what we're here for. We're going to walk through everything step by step to make this whole thing feel way less daunting.
All right, here's our game plan. We'll kick things off with what these exams even are. Then we'll get into the nitty-gritty, applying, the exam format itself, the rules on passing and failing, and of course, some solid tips to help you ace it.
Okay, first things first. What is this exam really? And why is it such a big deal?
So here's the deal. The Saudi Commission for Health Specialties, you'll see it called SCFHS, makes this exam mandatory. It's basically their way of ensuring you've got the skills to practice in the country. And the exam itself? It's run by a company called Prometric, which is great because they have testing centers all over the world.
All right, so you know you've got to take it. The big question is, how? Let's talk about the first practical steps, applying and booking your spot. It really boils down to three main steps. First up, you have to verify all your documents, your certificates, your experience, using a service called Dataflow. Once they give you the green light, the SCFHS sends you a special code, your eligibility ID. And that ID is your golden ticket. You take that, head over to the Prometric website, and book your exam.
And just so you know, the whole thing is done on a computer. No paper and pencil here. What's really great is the flexibility with locations. You can take it in big cities in Saudi Arabia like Riyadh or Jeddah, but they also have certified centers in tons of other countries. So chances are, there's one not too far from you.
Okay, now for the part I'm sure you're all wondering about. What's it actually like to sit for this exam? Let's get into the format and the scoring system.
So the whole test is multiple choice questions, but, and this is probably the most important tip I can give you, you need to know about the blueprint. For every single specialty, the SCFHS publishes an official blueprint that tells you exactly what's on the exam. A cardiologist's blueprint is going to look totally different from a surgeon's. Seriously, forget random stuff you find online. The blueprint is your Bible for studying.
So what are you aiming for? The magic number is usually 70%. For most of these specialty exams, you need to hit 70% or higher to pass. That's your target.
Just a quick heads up on how they score this. Most of the time, it's a straightforward percentage. You get 70%, you pass. Simple. But sometimes they use something called a scaled score. It's just a way to make sure the scoring is fair, even if different people get slightly different questions. The bottom line for you, don't guess. Check the official guide for your specialty so you know exactly what to expect.
Okay, you know what the exam looks like. Now let's talk about the rules of the game. How many shots do you get at this, and what happens once you've submitted your answers?
3. Remember that number. You generally get a maximum of 3 attempts to pass any given exam. So you've got a few chances, but not unlimited.
So, what happens if you don't pass the first or second time? Well, after 2 tries, you might have to file a request to get your eligibility reactivated for that third and final shot. Once you do take the exam, you're not left waiting forever. The results usually show up on your SCFHS portal within a few days, maybe a couple of weeks. And when you see that pass, and you will, that result is good for 2 years. That gives you plenty of time to get everything else sorted for your job.
All right, we've gone over the what, the why, and the how. Now for the really good stuff. Let's talk strategy. How do you actually prepare for this thing and make sure you pass? I've got 4 key tips for you, and trust me on these. Number 1, start that data flow verification process like yesterday. It can take a while, and it's the biggest bottleneck for so many people. Number 2, and I'm going to say it again, stick to the official blueprint for your specialty. Don't waste time on random websites. Third, study smart, not just hard. Focus on the high-yield topics that are most likely to show up. And finally, don't wait until the last minute to book your exam. Get it on the calendar early so you get the time and place that works best for you.
So, let's recap the whole journey, right? It's pretty simple when you break it down. First, get your documents verified. Second, book that exam. Third, prepare like a pro using that official blueprint. You nail those 3 things, and that door to your career in Saudi Arabia swings right open.
And really, that's the whole point. Try not to think of this exam as some scary obstacle. It's not.
It's your official gateway to achieving your professional goals in the kingdom. And with the right prep, it's a gateway you can walk through with total confidence. You've got this. Good luck.